Hello, ladies and gentlemen, it's Verdier again. It's time we're in the Ford Fusion. What we're going to do today, real quick, is I'm going to give a general look at how the cruise control in this car works. It's a little bit better than the Honda's. It has less failures when it comes to the 30 to 40 mile per hour range. It tends to notice cars a little better in that aspect. Otherwise, it works basically the same. It's a little more gentle, too. I think the philosophy behind this car is a little bit more cruiser-oriented than play-oriented that the Honda has. I think the Honda is meant to be kind of a mixture of a way to make a hybrid into a sports enthusiast car. I mean, it's not any fast, but it's still fun. This car is not really fun. That's not really what this car is. This is more to get you to your place comfortably, except for the seats. To get you to a place generally comfortably and safely and quietly. It's pretty quiet. Excuse me. Apparently, I don't know how to swallow. Not only am I creepy looking, but even at this point in my age, I'm almost 50 years old, I still don't know how to swallow my own spit. So you're going to get to listen to me hack like a yak for a while. Now, I'm going to pretty much put everything on cruise control. Great. I'm going to sit here and just hack the whole freaking time, aren't I? Okay. I think you heard enough of this. All right. Essentially, I popped on the... Well, adaptive cruise is too slow. Yeah, well, we got to get into some movement. I'm heading off to have my arm looked at, and then I'm going to work. As I'm sure I've bitched and moaned plenty of times, I managed to crack my... oh, God, I knew what it was called. My radius in my arm at work, working in a warehouse, and now pretty much I got to sit at a desk and be bored all day long, checking people's receipts. Not a lot of fun, but it is what it is. Now, as I said, the cruise control is basically very similar in this car. It's probably almost the same equipment, very close. I'm sure there's software differences. This car, you cannot start from a complete stop if you don't have radar contact with a car ahead of you. So if you stop at a light, I'll go ahead and just set it now. We're right now on cruise control. So if you stop at a light on your own, you get a red light and you stop, when the light turns green, you can't hit the resume button to continue. You have to get up to about 5-10 miles per hour, and then you can hit your resume. It's one of the things I really like about the Honda. But it's not that big a deal. However, if you do have cruise connection with a car ahead of you and so forth, come to a complete stop, all you have to do is hit the resume button or push against the gas a little bit, and the car will go back into full cruise control again, adaptive cruise control. You have your lane distancing right now. I have it set a little high. I'm going to put it a little closer. It was snowy yesterday. Here I'm just hitting the resume. Now the car's going to follow. I'm just going to give you my quick ride to the doctor's office, give you an idea how it runs. As I said, these cruise controls are generally pretty reliable. You do have to be careful. Always have to keep your eye on the road, and you always got to... I'll tell you what it really does for me. Now, one user, very, very smart, gave very good opinions on this, saying that, it could lead to a situation like with most people, when you turn left or turn right, even if there are no cars on the highway, you tend to still use your turn signal. It's like muscle memory. He didn't use that term, but he's quite correct. I mean, it's an automatic response. Most people do that because they got so used to using their turn signals. It's just something they automatically do. I mean, some people don't do it at all because they're weenies. He said a big concern he would have with these automatic cruise controls is people tend to rest their feet down on the floor instead of being, fully aware on the pedals. And he's absolutely right. That could definitely happen. It does happen on the highway with me. But I'll tell you what the cruise control does do with me. Here, when I'm in the city doing it, because this is, let's face it, if they have start and stop cruise control, they're trying to make it semi-autonomous for everybody, including in the city, whether they say it's supposed to be used or not. That's basically the direction it's moving towards. They can say whatever they want. That's basically what they're doing. But when I'm here, I generally keep my foot over the brake, and between the brake and the gas, so I'm ready to stop or do changes. But one thing, when I'm on the cruise control, when I'm letting the car drive for me in that aspect, or at least control my speed, I'm very, very, very much aware of my surroundings. And that's what I do. I put on my music. I enjoy my music while I drive. But I'm constantly scanning for cars and incidents This is all the cruise control doing this for me, slowing me down. I also keep an eye on the thing here. But I'm always keeping an eye on what's ahead of me at all times. I'm always looking to the left, to the right, and I'm always checking my mirrors. It keeps me hyper aware of that, and I'm also checking my dash to make sure I have cruise contact. Now up here I may run into some problems. We've got slightly curved cars. Although this car is pretty good. Nope, it's picked up. This car is very good, but it's lost it again. So it comes and goes. It really depends. I think it's trying to decide whether to grab onto this key or not. Is it going to see this guy? Not at this point because we're curved and we got caught up in the other radar. So I did have to stop on my own there. This is part of the reason you've got to be very careful when you're using these cruise controls. Is this thing even straight? Probably not. Whatever. So this is why you have to be careful with your cruise controls. I'm going to go ahead and hit resume now, and it'll lock on now, and we'll go ahead from now. So you always got to keep an eye on where you're going. We're under cruise control right now. But like I said, it keeps me hyper vigilant. But I tend to try to be a responsible driver. I don't like... God damn it. Well, wasn't that wonderful? Stuck it up here. The thing just decided to fall flat on the ground. That's just great. And I'm out of my cruise control now because I hit the brake. Why it let go, I don't know. Oh my God. So let's see if we can ruin this whole video because the damn thing can't stay up there. Why it's not doing it, I don't know. It's fully sticky. It's on suction hook. You better hold on this time. Let me hit my resume again and get back into my cruise control. I don't know if I could save this video after that. I mean, I did drop your guys' ass on the ground. And I totally lost my train of thought. But like I said, no, I keep hyper aware. And that's the responsible way to use this cruise control, is to stay hyper aware and know exactly what you're doing at all times. But the cruise control in this car is definitely very, very usable. Very comfortable. It works very well. A little bit better than Honda's. I think it may just have better software design. Maybe it even has better parts. It's impossible to know. But I'd be rather surprised. They're both in the same year range. Although this is about a $7,000 more car overall in cost. It's a little bit more luxury oriented than the Honda. Although the Honda has a lot of features that would be considered kind of luxury for its price range. But that's basically where we're at with that. And I do apologize for this thing falling. I don't know why it fell. I thought I had it up there real tight. I do apologize for that. I guess it's not going to be a perfect setup. As I've said many times, the Ford has tended to grow on me. Once I adapted to what the Ford Fusion Energi is really designed for, and let's resume here, and it's designed for cruising and not really for play, then I became more interested. I became interested and I accepted it for the type of car it was. We'll change lanes here. I had gotten so used to the way that a Honda was. The Honda is a tossable car, much more tossable than this. Not to say that this car won't hold the road, although if you're going to toss this car around, you better change the tires because these low rolling resistant tires, they give you very, very good gas mileage on this car. I'm getting on average about 43, but it gets up into the 46 range easily, even in the wintertime. But these tires on this car are really bad. I'm going to try to get the names, exact ones they are, and tell people to steer clear away from them unless you're in completely dry weather, because anytime I hit any kind of wetness, if I hit the gas hard, and it's only a 2-liter 4-cylinder. It's not a super powerful engine. It's about 180 horsepower in this car. The wheels spin. They just spin and spin. And they're always catching. Oh, God, I should have shut off the auto. So this is one problem with the auto wipers. If you get just a little bit of stuff on them, on your windshield, and they wipe, they tend to be kind of dirty in the wipe, especially when you're dealing with melting snow. So it's best to shut off your auto wipers in these kind of situations, which is basically what I do most of the time. So, of course, I'm ranting as usual. But the tires on this car are horrid. They are horrid. But they're good for gas mileage, so you just be careful. And if this is a car you're purchasing to own, keep it in mind that you do need snow tires. And that these tires that you're going to put on them are not super grippy tires. I've never pushed this car to its edge. That's not really what I find this car is really for. That's not what it's really for. It's meant to cruise and get you there. But this has kind of turned into more of an overall discussion of cars in general, and this car in general. Oh, that's interesting. The heated steering wheel isn't on. Usually I have it set to on, and it isn't on. I'm wondering if there's some kind of logic in a car based on temperature or settings that turn off the heated cruise control. Also, let's get into EV mode. There we go. Shut off the engine. Engine enabled for system performance. Okay, I don't know what the heck that's all about. Maybe the engine needs to be up because I'm still heating up the car. I really don't know. The steering wheel isn't turned on, which is strange because it's usually on all the time. But I've got it to electric mode now, and it seems like the engine's still on. I don't know. Computers make these decisions based on what you want. If you're using a heat, obviously this car is not using pure electric heat. It's going to be using radiator water running through your condensers or whatever the heck they call the damn things to warm up your cabin. And the car is still warming up, although I mean the car itself is warm, but the inside, the interior must be still warming up. But this whole time we've been running on cruise control. The car is pretty darn reliable on cruise control. You can feel pretty confident in this car driving on the cruise control, but as I said, you always have to be careful. And remember, you're always the driver, not the car. The cruise control is there to make your life easier. Of course, it's kind of hard to show off when you're here, but all that time back there, 99.9% of the time, I was all on cruise control. And the car was handling everything magnificently. But that's pretty much all there really is to say. There's no reason to get too deep into it on the car. I think the Ford Fusion is a nice little car. Beautiful front end looks. Not so comfortable seats, but you guys have seen me on video now. I'm a big guy. But I'm not the only one who's complained about that. It really bad seats. Lots of settings though, so you can set them however you like. Nice big cabin. There's plenty of room for people to sit in here, as long as they don't bring any luggage, or as long as they want to put their luggage in the cabin with them, then they'll be fine. But aside from that, there's really not much else to say. I think I'm going to go over the voice activation system in this car at some point, and also I want to go over the GPS, because the GPS in this car is actually pretty darn good. Usually, I've been so used to using things like the Garmin's that are built in a lot. This is some other company. I don't know what company this is. I could probably look it up, but I'm lazy. It actually works pretty good. No free updates, which is very surprising. But it's time to turn off and get my arm checked. But it works very well, and I think I'm going to do a demonstration on it and show you guys how it works, and probably go over the settings. I usually skip those when I did my review of the car. But for people who want to look into more detailed stuff into the car, I'll look into that as well, so you can see it. I tried getting a webcam. I went cheap. Boy, those videos were awful, so I'm taking it back. Maybe I'll get a more expensive one. So I'm using my phone right now. I don't know why it didn't stick before. That's really obnoxious. And that's pretty much where we're at. I've just got to try to find a place to park and go have my arm looked at, and then skedaddle off to work. All right, guys, this is Verdier signing out. If you have any questions, anything you want to know about the Ford Fusion Energi, any comments you want, hey, Verdier, you said this, but it's not right. This is what I found out. Please pass it on to me. I make these channels for fun, not profit. I'm not making anything. I just like doing this. I did it mostly because I loved my my Honda Insight, but I enjoy this car too, and I like to pass this stuff on. I'm gonna put this car into auto mode again and shut off. And you just let me know what you want to know. The Ford community isn't too big on this channel, so I have 38 subscribers. I mean, come on. This is not a serious channel. This is more for fun. So if you guys got any questions, let me know. And I'm sure if anyone has complaints, they'll let me know too. Someone gave me a thumbs down. I think they were pissed off at me saying I found the car boring. I did find it boring. I expected something different out of the car. And now that I'm used to what it is, I'm okay. All right, you guys take care. Bye-bye.